What's going on, everyone? Tom Walters here, back from Rehab Science. In today's video, we're going to look at exercises for an acute meniscus tear. Maybe you were standing on your leg and twisted it, heard a pop, you've got some swelling in your knee. If that's something you're experiencing, these first three exercises are the ones that we commonly prescribe in physical therapy and are ones that you're going to want to start with. So if you've got those kind of symptoms, check out this video. Okay, so today's video is going to look at meniscus tears. These typically happen when the person is standing on one leg and maybe pivots. So maybe running and pivoting to change direction. The foot's fixed on the ground and the knee twists. And people will often say that they heard a pop. Maybe they get swelling in their knee. The tricky thing about meniscus tears is there's not really a good test that you can do on yourself to diagnose this. So sometimes it can be a ligament injury, like maybe you injure the MCL ligament in your knee, or maybe the ACL, or maybe the meniscus. Oftentimes these things can occur together or separately, and so there's not really a good test. But the good news is that the three exercises I'm going to show are basically the exercises you do to start out for any of these conditions. Even after meniscus surgery, these are the exercises we typically start with in rehab. So the key, though, is that if you're not getting better, or you notice that your knee is kind of slipping around when you're standing on it, it feels unstable, like it's going to buckle or give out, that's when you want to go see a practitioner in your area, whether it's a physical therapist or an orthopedic surgeon, because you may need to have an MRI to see what's gone on, and even maybe have some tests done on your knee to see, maybe you tore your ACL. So if you've got those symptoms where it feels unstable, like it's going to give way, make sure to go actually see a practitioner in your area. If you don't have that kind of symptom, you just have pain and maybe some swelling, start with these three exercises. And like any video, if you're staying the same or not getting better, then after a few weeks, that's when you'd go see someone. So let's jump into the first exercise. For the first exercise, we are going to look at something called a heel slide, and this is really just done to help encourage active range of motion and mobility in the knee. Our knee normally goes from 0 degrees straight, maybe even a little bit of hyperextension where the heel can come off the ground, and then we'll bend through full range of motion is about 135 to 145 degrees. So what we want to do, if we have a knee injury, is we don't want to lose any of that mobility. So this heel slide, we're basically just going to slide our heel on the ground. You're going to bend your knee as far as you can comfortably. If there's swelling in the knee, you might not be able to bend through full range of motion. So you're just going to take it as far as it will let you. Maybe I've got pain there. I'm going to kind of stop and then go back out. And I'm just going to do movements like this, kind of slowly up to my maximum and then back out. So we will typically have people do this 4 to 5 times a day for 10 to 15 repetitions. Again, to just help encourage mobility in the knee so you don't get stiff and lose range of motion. Working it throughout the day to just gain that mobility back. Okay, so that is the first exercise, a heel slide. The second exercise is called a quad set. It's basically one where we're going to do an isometric contraction of our quadriceps muscles. In many knee injuries, even after surgery, the quadriceps muscles will become inhibited. When the joint is painful or swollen, our nervous system will shut off that muscle to kind of protect the knee joint, but we want to get it back online. So that's basically what this exercise is going to do. So while you're sitting here with your legs straight, you're just going to think about pushing your knee down into the ground and squeezing those muscles on the top of your thigh, your quadriceps. You can see as I do that, they pop up as they contract. So what you're going to do is push down, hold for 10 seconds, and then relax. So you'll be relaxed. You'll relax for maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and then you'll do another squeeze. Squeeze your quadricep muscles, hold for 10 seconds. Again, not necessarily to really strengthen them, but to create this neuromuscular contraction to get them back online, because many people will find that after a knee injury, it's hard to squeeze their quadricep muscles. So you're basically doing this again to just sort of get them back online. If doing it with your knee straight like this on the ground is difficult, what you can do is roll up a small hand towel and put it underneath your knee joint. So imagine if my hand's down there, it gives me something to push into. So if it's hard with the knee fully straight, you can't get much squeeze there, roll up a small towel and put it down there and then push into the towel. Sometimes that little bit of tactile feedback can help with squeezing the quadricep muscles. So again, hold for 10 seconds and then rest for 10 to 20 seconds. and then another contraction. You want to shoot for 2 to 3 sets of 10 repetitions of this each day. So the last exercise is called the straight leg raise. Again, this is another really common one that people are prescribed in physical therapy when they have an acute knee injury or after surgery. So for this one, you are going to start out by squeezing your quadriceps like we did in the last exercise. And then what we're going to do is keep that leg straight and lift it to about the height of the thigh, the angle of the other leg. So typically we start people with this laying on their back because it's going to be a little easier. If you don't like this, or maybe you want to be able to see what you're doing, then you can kind of prop up on your forearms here. So again, squeeze your quads and then lift that leg, trying to keep it straight about to the angle of the other leg, and then back down. Now again, the key is to use your quadricep muscles to keep that knee straight. Another way to help engage is to pull your ankle up into dorsiflexion a little bit. Rather than have it pointed, if you kind of pull it up, this will help engage this whole anterior myofascial line. So what we're going to do is lock the knee out, pull the ankle into dorsiflexion a little bit, and then lift the leg up to the height of the other one, and then back down. We're going to do 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions of this. Now, for some people, especially after injury, this is really hard. What will happen is when they lift it, it will bend slightly. That's called an extensor leg. So you want to try not to do that. Really keep it locked out, squeeze your quads, and keep it straight the whole time. Don't let it bend. Up and down slowly, 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions. Okay, so that's our straight leg raise. Those are the 3 exercises we're going to start with after a meniscus injury. Again, maybe you were standing on your leg, you twisted, it popped, it's swollen. You can start with these pretty much right after the injury, maybe within 1 to 3 days after a little bit of rest after the injury. Again, if you're doing these for a little while and you're noticing your knee feels like it's going to buckle or give way, make sure to go see your local physical therapist or orthopedic surgeon because you might need an MRI. They can do hands-on tests to make sure your ACL is not torn, your MCL is not torn, and check your meniscus. So I hope this is helpful to you, and I will see y'all later. Bye.